What's up, everybody? This is Crypto Juggle, and today I'm going to be talking about the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, and I will be giving you my top 3 projects on the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem and the reason why I believe that those projects are the most important ones right now on the Binance Smart Chain. So let's get started. The first one is definitely the most important one without a doubt, and I'm pretty sure everybody would agree with that. Anyone that has used the Binance Smart Chain will agree that Pancakeswap is definitely the most important project on Binance Smart Chain. So this is an equivalent of SushiSwap. And if you don't know what SushiSwap is, it's a decentralized exchange that allows you to swap different currencies on Ethereum, but also to yield farm liquidity pairs and earn some yield in sushi tokens while providing liquidities. So I'll explain it a little bit more and show you how it works on Pancakeswap, but that's pretty much it for the main ideas. And by the way, if you don't know how to interact with the Binance Smart Chain network, I strongly suggest you that you look for other videos that explains how to set up your MetaMask on the Binance Smart Chain network, because I'm not gonna go through that in this video. All right, so first feature, like I mentioned, a little bit like Uniswap, is the swap feature. But one thing I love about the Binance Smart Chain is that they actually have some kind of cross-chain feature where we can swap many different coins from different chains like Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Obviously, you have some stable coins like BUSD, but also many other coins that are not on Uniswap because it's restricted to Ethereum, but you actually have a pegged version of that token available on Pancakeswap, like Polkadot, Aeron, EOS, Ethereum, like I mentioned, and many others like Litecoin. You even have some stocks like Amazon, Google, Netflix, and Tesla that have been tokenized in order for you to trade them and provide liquidity, and even yield farm using those tokenized stocks. So that's very interesting. And one of the reasons why the Binance Smart Chain hype is so big right now, it's because, well, we all know that Ethereum fees are very high right now. It can cost you $40–50 easily just for one swap on Uniswap. But using Binance Smart Chain, you can actually do a swap or a transaction for about 50 cents to $1 in average. And the block time is very low, so the transaction are actually processed within something like 10 to 15 seconds on average. So that's very interesting for many users. You actually save a lot of money using Binance Smart Chain instead of going on Uniswap if those tokens are obviously available on Pancakeswap. So that's the swap feature that you can just use like Uniswap to swap one token to another. The one feature that is very popular right now is the yield farming feature. So there's farms that you can provide liquidity to a pair directly on Pancakeswap. For example, the Cake BNB, which is the Binance coin pair that earns you 100% APR that is paid in Cake token. So all those pairs are liquidity providing pairs, and you earn Cake token for staking those into the Pancakeswap protocol. So as you can see, in some cases there is very high 600–700% APR, but just so you know, there is some risk there because there is impermanent loss when you provide liquidity to a pair. So if you don't know what is impermanent loss and how it works, I strongly advise you to check that and make sure you understand the risk before providing liquidity and farming liquidity on Pancakeswap. If you're not aware of the risk, and you or even if you do, but you don't want to be in some pools and essentially suffer from impermanent loss, well, you have this pools feature on Pancakeswap that allows you to stake single asset token in pools and earn different tokens. So the currency that you can stake is the cake token. Now you could just stake the cake token inside this pool up there and earn cake. So you stake cake to earn more cake. You can compound those because it's very cheap to do so, and it earns pretty nice 128% APR. Sorry. Now that APR can vary with time, but I've been there since the early days and it stayed pretty much at that number for the whole time. It varies a little bit from maybe 150% to 120%, but it's always stayed in a pretty good APR. So it's not gonna drop too much. But what you can also do is take your cake tokens that maybe you have earned or you have bought and stake them in different pools to earn different tokens. So for example, you can stake in the box pool and earn BUX tokens at 128%, or the RAM pool at 123%, and you get paid directly in RAM token if that's a project that you like. There's many pools that you can check, and they are constantly adding new pools every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. So it's very interesting to stay up to date. But just so you know, these are limited time pools. As you can see when you check details, there is an N number, and that number is the number of blocks before that pool closes. So blocks are usually like 15 seconds to 30 seconds. So you can do the maths and figure out how long that's gonna last. Usually they last for about 1 month, but you can do the maths to figure it out. There's also a few other features like a lottery where you can buy tickets and potentially win the jackpot. There's collectibles if you like NFTs. But the one interesting feature I prefer among those is the IFO, which stands for Initial Farm Offering. So you can provide liquidity for a Cake BNB pair, and you actually earn some very early tokens, just like an ICO. It allows you to get very early in projects before they're even listed. So that's very interesting. Check it out if that's something you would like to participate in. It have seen some very good success. Those tokens have performed really well most of the times. So it's a very nice opportunity. The second project I want to talk about is Venus. Now Venus is very interesting because it is a DeFi lending and borrowing platform, very similar to what Compound or Aave is doing, but on Binancesmartchain. So what it allows you to do is, first of all, lend or borrow assets using collateral in Venus token or XVS. And if you hold a lot of XVS, you actually get a bonus APY, or you get better rewards the more you hold. And you can also use a vault in VI token, which is equivalent of DAI, a stable coin on the Venus network, to earn XVS at 16% APY. So you can stake the stable coin to earn XVS, and then you can use your XVS as collateral to potentially borrow assets, and the borrowed assets could potentially be sent, for example, on Pancakeswap, traded for cakes, and you can stake those cakes at a very high APY. So those are some yield farming strategy that you can use on Venus. So a lot of people actually use it. As you can see, there is a total value locked of more than $5 billion. So that's a huge TVL. It means that a lot of people are using that protocol to lend and borrow assets. Now, obviously, you cannot borrow unlimited amount. It depends on the amount of collateral that you're using. So you can go through the details of the tokenomics and figure out how much exactly can you borrow depending on the collateral. They have a section where you can figure out the maths and see if it makes sense for you to use your collateral to borrow assets. But the important feature that you can do with those borrowed assets is send them wherever you want, trade them for any token, and potentially farm them into yield farming or smart contracts elsewhere. The last project I want to talk about today is Acryptos. Now, the Acrypto is an yield farming aggregator. So this means that you have multiple protocols integrated into this one that essentially aggregate many different protocols into the same one. So for example, as you can see, you have Venus, you have Pancakeswap integrated directly into Acrypto, so that you don't have to actually go through all different sites to interact with those protocols and get the yield farming rewards that you would like to have. They also have the stable swap feature, which is, in my opinion, what's making that project very, very interesting. So for those of you who don't know what is a stable swap, let's have a look into it. A stable swap is a feature that allows you to, as the name is suggesting, to swap between different stable coins. For example, if you own BUSD, which is the Binance stable coin, but you would like to have DAI or USDT, you can easily swap it from a huge pool with very, very, very little slippage. So that's where the benefit comes from doing it here rather than doing it on Pancakeswap. Because what's going to happen on Pancakeswap if you do a stablecoin swap is you're going to have some slippage. And you might swap, for example, $10,000 of BUSD, but end up with having, for example, 9,950 USDT. So that's because of a slippage, and the Acrypto stable swap vault allows you to reduce that slippage to the minimum. And if you're familiar with Curve protocol on Ethereum, that's exactly what they're doing. So they have a stable swap with a huge vaults, and I'm a big fan, by the way, of Curve. So that's probably one of the reasons why I'm very interested in that protocol, because it's the only one that is doing that on the Binance Smart Chain. So it's essentially a copy of Curve, but with added features like the aggregated yield farming features. Now they also have, just like Curve, different pools that you can have that are a combination of different stable coins tied together in one single crypto. So this one, for example, is a combination of 4 different cryptos, stable coin, and you can use that specific cryptos, go back to the vaults, and actually farm with those cryptos that are a combination of a few different stable coins. So that's very interesting because you get different yield depending on the exact combination that you're using, and those are usually yielding a better yield than a standard stable coin. So for example, if you're using the ACS4 USD, which is 4 different stable coin, it yields a 52% APR, while if you use for example the BUSD at almost 35%, or the USDT at 23, you get a lesser reward than a combination of those. So that's where it gets interesting. Now you can also use their main token, which is the ACS, and just straight up stake it and earn APY on it. So this is an auto compounding vault that you don't have to compound it. It's gonna be compounded automatically for you every single day. So it's very interesting, and that is also the reason why the APY is quite high at 600%, because it is compounded. So the basic APR is actually 196%, but when you compound that very often, you get a 600% APY rewards. So that's very, very good rewards. And right now they're in between two versions, so they're transitioning to version 2. So the rewards are actually split between V1 and V2. So that APY is actually lower than it usually is. And in a few days, when the migration is fully completed, we should, in theory, see that number go higher than that, because all the rewards will be into one single version instead of split between the two. You can also use that platform to simply compound and stake tokens like Link, Polkadot, Cardano, Ripple, and earn a compounding yield, not only in the native currency you're using, but you also get an additional reward in the ACS token. So that's very interesting because it's a dual reward system that allows you to farm your own token and get additional rewards in ACS. So one that is particularly interesting, in my opinion, is the cake, because instead of staking on Pancakeswap and earning that yield that is not compounded, you can actually just put your cake into a cryptos and it will be compounded automatically for you, but it will also gives you additional reward in ACS. So that's very interesting. Also, you can have bonus rewards in your ACS rewards if you stake the ACS token in that particular vault. So depending on the amount you're staking, you're gonna get additional rewards. So that's why you see here ACS APR from 10% to 27%. The 27% is if you're staking the maximum amount of a cryptos token in that vault. It gives you bonus yield essentially. So that's very, very interesting protocol. You can also use those yield farming pairs that are just aggregated from Pancakeswap or other websites. So that's a very, very nice aggregator that auto compounds your cryptos. If you don't want to have to manually compound into Pancakeswap, just use a cryptos. It's much more simple, and you can just leave your cryptos there and know that they're going to be compounded daily to have the maximum amount of rewards that you can potentially get, plus a nice bonus in their native token. So that's it for today and those tokens. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment below, like and subscribe, tick the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.